So welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey. Today I wondered, Bruges Lace, can it be done in any size? And the answer is yes. So I did quite a bit of research, and this is the around the edge blanket pattern. Now I had Bernat blanket twist yarn, and I wondered, it's variegated and sometimes it can pool, and it sets off my OCD. And I wondered if I did a really cool border with the light teal Bernat blanket, that it could be really awesome, and it worked out. So I'm going to be able to tell you what you need to do to change the size of this, because maybe you want a different shape. Maybe you just want to change things around, and the answer is within the main body of the blanket itself. And then what we're going to do for the border is called Bruges Lace. Now this Bruges Lace concept is easier than other types of Bruges Lace that are out there, and Bruges Lace is the crochet version of it. So when you're doing Bruges Lace, you're just going to do the first rotation around your blanket, like you see, and then these chain 5 connection spots are going to be the holding place. And when you do the Bruges Lace, you're going back and forth, and you're going to follow it all the way around. So this main section that you see here is not done by doing continuous rounds. It's done by going back and forth and following it all the way around. I'm going to give you some great tips on being able to handle your corners so that you don't have to count so much, and you can see along the edging, it just works itself out. And when this blanket is laying flat, it literally lays flat. And so I'm really quite excited about that. So though I use Bernat blanket yarn with an 8mm size L crochet hook, you can use any yarn that you wish. And I'm going to show you a smaller swatch here on camera today. I'll be using a 5mm size H, just in case you want to try a 4-ply medium weight. And I'll be using Red Heart Bitty Stripes as my sample in order to give that a go. So without further ado, I'm going to get myself started, and we're going to begin this journey together. In the video description, you're going to find a link to this pattern, and you can be able to download that if you wish. And what we're looking at is that it's just double crochet rows. So this concept works as long as the stitches are double crochet. But here's the trick. It needs to be an even number of double crochet rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an even number. So you can't have 9 or 11. It has to be an even number in order for the side edging to work, so that you can change this pattern. The other trick to this that I figured out is that the stitch multiple to go across, if it's done properly, you can go any width that you want as long as the stitch multiple is in play. So as long as the stitch multiple is in play, the number of rows are even, you can change the size of this blanket without any issues. And we're going to begin. So you'll see in the downloadable, it's multiples of 4 chains plus 3, and then we're going to begin our journey from that point. And I'm going to grab my yarn and let's play. Let's begin. I would consider this an intermediate level pattern, just so that you're aware. So we can either chain 83 if you want to match it to the Bernat blanket size, or you can do the multiples of 4 plus 3 if you're changing out the yarn like I am. So if you're going to change the multiples, just go 1, so chaining 2, 3, 4. Is it wide enough? Yes or no? If not, continue again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes or no, bigger enough? If not, keep on going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. You should know that when you do a chain, it will contract by 20%. So if you actually chain 100 chains, it'll look like it's only 80 chains wide by the time you're done. So consider that when you're doing your first chain. So I'll do a couple more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say that I'm happy with the width. I just have to add 3 more, and then I have the balance of my blanket, just like that. So it's multiples of 4 plus 3, or you can chain 83 if you're using the Bernat blanket size. To come across on our first row, we're going to go 4 chain from the hook. So count it back. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the back hump of the chain. It looks nicer. And just double crochet. So the chain we just skipped over plus this double crochet is technically 2 double crochets to begin. You don't need to count your stitches. You just have to apply 1 double crochet in each one of the chains all the way across. And this is row number 1. Okay, so please do that, and I'll see you at the end of the row in a moment. Once you're into the last one, you're going to turn your work and do row number 2. So the right side here is the where the tail is. So if you want to mark it with a stitch marker, if that matters to you, or you can look for the tail later to know what is the right side or not. So you can decide that on your own. So we're going to begin then row number 2 next. Row number 2, chain up 3, it will count as a double crochet, and proceed to the next double crochet to begin to double crochet all the way across. The trick is to make sure that you get that last double crochet of the row so that you are staying in balance and not adding or subtracting any stitches. I'll see you closer to the end of the row in a moment, so just double crochet across. As you're coming to the final of the row, there's 3 stitches left. So you see these 2, and then this one here, this is the turning chain. You need to use that. If you don't use it, you'll miss a stitch. So when people are tighter in their stitches, they say, oh, okay, I'm on the end, because it looks like it blends, but you need to go into the chain work itself. So don't go into a space, go right into the final turning chain. Okay, and so you're going to turn your work and then begin a new row. So to begin a new row, you are just going to chain 3 and advance to the next double crochet, because this is coming out of the first one, and keep on going. The Bernat blanket has a total of 44 rows, which is an even number, but I'm going to do a mini swatch with you on camera. I'm going to do 8 rows on my own, and so you can do as many rows, and then you can come back to this video when you're ready to do the final border work of learning how to do Bruges lace. And I'll be back in a moment. So I now have 8 rows done. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So it just has to be an even number. You can trim off your yarn, and you can decide what you want to do next, which is adding a border. And so we'll finish that off. And because this is the wrong side, we want to turn it back to the right side. So right where we started here. Because we're doing even number, the tails will appear like this, but you just got to pay attention. If you're ever unsure, you know, a stitch marker doesn't hurt you at all. You can just put a stitch marker in place, one of the posts, and you can remove that later. And whenever you see this tail end coming out, this is the right side of the work. So if you see this, wrong side. Okay, so that may help you to know. So what we want to do now is establish ourselves on the first round to create the spacing for the Bruges lace to float into. And I'm going to take you to a diagram next. So what we're going to do is to create chain 5 spaces that go all the way around your blanket. And it can be any size that you want, as long as it's an even number and the stitch multiple has been made. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the chain side. So we have the right side facing up. And so we are going to then turn it. So the right side's facing up, and we're going to start at the beginning chain, just like you see here. So if I turn this here, we're going to be starting right here, and we're going to join with a standing single crochet and create these chain 5 spaces. So in my case with the Bernat blanket, I used a teal 2 balls in order to get all the way around that blanket, and all the way around with the Bruges lace, and that's something that we're going to do. I'm just going to switch my color for a red heart bitty stripes so you can see what it looks like, so it's obvious. So now that my work is turned already, this is the beginning chain that we started with. This is the right side facing up. We're going to start off with a slip knot onto the crochet hook. And we're going to use the chain work itself, which is holding the first double crochets that we put in. And we're going to just attach to a chain. Okay, if you want to weave in your ends, you can. And you're going to pull through the chain, just a loop. And you're going to have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over it and pull through the 2. That's a standing single crochet. So what I'm going to do now is just take the tail, put it to the side. We'll have to weave that in later because we're going to start jumping over spaces to create those chain 5 spaces. So we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you need to skip the next 3 chains. Just look for those double crochets, so 1, 2, 3, and go to the 4th one away. And we're calling it chains because that was the starting one, foundation. And then we're going to chain another 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then skip the next 3. And single crochet the next. And you're going to do this all the way to the corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip the next 3, single into the next one. So I'll see you closer to the corner, and I'll show you how it's going to turn and how we're going to work our way down the next side. So I'm getting closer to the corner, and I'm chaining my 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to go into your turning chain here. So you're skipping the next 3 and go right into the turning chain. So normally in crochet, what we do is we add something extra to the corners, but in Bruges Lace, we're not. We're just going to simply just turn our work and then begin to do these chain 5 spaces, but strategically put them in place to go along the side of your blanket next. And that's what we're going to do. To go along the side, you have to pay attention to skipping the first row, which is here, and you're going to go to the top of the next stitch right here. And you're doing that every other one. So chain 5 first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you skip this row and you go to the top of this one. Okay, and it's right here. And you're going to single crochet in. So Bruges Lace, you can double crochet in, you can half double crochet, but I think single crochet keeps it tighter in this particular instance. So chain another 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then skip this row and just go to here. So it's the top of the next row. Skipping this row, it's the top of this row. And you keep doing that all along the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So skipping this row and go to the top of this one. And because we're doing an even number, the last one will go right into the corner. So if you're not there, put me on pause. And if you're ready for it, I'm going to keep on going. So just chain 5 to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just go into the top of the first stitch. And that's your corner achieved. And then we're ready for the top edge. To come along the top edge, it's just like we were doing it on the chain work along, on the bottom. So we're going to start with chaining 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next 3, double crochet and go to the 4th and single crochet in. And you're going to do that all the way across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next 3. Come into the 4th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the next 3. Go into the 4th. Please do this until you get to the next corner. I'll see you there, and we'll go down the final side. Coming along the top edge, chain 5. Skipping the next 3 and just go into the top of the turning chain. So if something happened and you were missing one or something, just throw it into the corner. You know, people, this actually is pretty flexible on this pattern. And so you'll turn and then go down the next side. To go down the side, it's the same thing that we were doing on the other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and skip the first row. And it's right here. Okay, it's the same thing if you follow it all the way across. So single crochet and chain 5, and then this connection right here. So you will have the same amount of spaces on one side versus the other, even in the row counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally, when you're ready for it in the final here, you're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you were just going to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and you need to fasten off this yarn. Okay, so you're going to end this yarn, and now you've established the chain 5 spaces where the Bruges lace is going to float. And now this is the fun part that I need to tell you about, because this is when it gets actually pretty easy, but you just have to understand it. So I'm going to turn it back to the right side, and we'll talk about what needs to be done next. Now, Bruges lace can be really complicated when there's instructions. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The space before a corner, which is this one and this one, has 2 connections. The rest of them only has 1. So it's always the one on both sides of the corner that has 2. So these will all be 1, 1, 1, 1, and this is the next one before the corner. There will be 2 connections on both sides. So 1 here, or 2 connections here, 2 here, and then 1, 1, and so on. So you can say in the instructions, well, do so many rows, and then it's going to say, well, la, 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 la. If you can look for the 2 spots right where the corners are, it's going to make your life a lot easier. When we go to start our work, we're going to be starting our work on any side that you wish, but I'm just going to pick here, and I'm going to start off by doing 2 connections to start, and then I'm going to follow it around, and I'm going to end in this space, and then we're going to have to do a whip stitch join of just joining 5 double crochets together with the sewing needle to bring it to conclusion. So without further ado, we're going to begin right here, and grab your yarn and let's play. And just before I get started, so this is the instruction showing you that there was 2 connections into the one in the corner. So this is after the corner, this is before, so there's 2, and then the rest of them, it just has 1 Bruges connection in between, unless it's a corner. So the Bruges is going to go back and forth following it around, and it's a really nice easy way of just being able to go around, and you'll have these chain 5 loops that are on the outside that make it very desirable. And so we're going to begin, and we're going to be starting officially right here, and we're going to work our way around and making sure that we get 2 connections in the corner, which I'll show you. With the right side facing up, I'm going to choose this space after the corner has turned right here. We're not going to join it right away. We're going to start off by just creating a slip knot. So let's begin chaining 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What I would do, pinch the 5th one and keep on going. And there's a reason. So 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The one I pinched is the 6th chain from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the one I'm pinching is the 6th chain. So that's our first double crochet right where I'm pinching. So I want to double crochet and just move my thumb out of the way and just go into the back loop only of the 6th chain from the hook. And we are going to double crochet into that chain. There's the outside loop that you've seen in Bruges Lace, and there's only 4 more chains left. You're going to double crochet in each of the 4. So you can't start with a connection already to the blanket. You have to do this before you do the first connection to the blanket. So there should be a total of 5 double crochet that you can see. So you see the outside loop, that's not a stitch, it's just decoration, and then the 5 here. What I'm going to do now is to begin and do my first connection to this right here. I'm going to scoop up underneath the chain 5 and just yarn over and pull through, and that's a slip stitch connection. Turn just the border element to it, chain 2. This does not count as a stitch, it's just a builder. And you are going to apply 1 double crochet in just the 5 double crochets that you can see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This would be considered, and I'm going to turn it back to the right side, this is 1 connection of 2 that you need in a corner spot. Okay, so there will be 2 connections into this. So to get back to here, we need to chain 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and start with the first double crochet where this is coming out of. and you're only going to do the 5 double crochets that you see. Do you really need to count it? Probably not, as long as you can identify and just check once in a while that it is only 5 double crochet. So when you head back towards the body of the blanket, you're going to do a connection. And because this is a corner space, we want to connect again to the same space. So you're going to come up underneath this same space, slip stitch and pull it through. That's your second connection out of 2, and turn the border element to the wrong side. And now chain 2, does not count, and just do the 5 double crochets that you see. Okay, and now turn it back to the right side. So you can see that you got 2 slip stitch connections to this. Now the remaining is only going to have 1. So we need that to create extra so that it will turn. And we'll do the 2 on this side too, which you'll have that nice turn that will go around the edge. So to keep on going, you're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And start with the double crochet where this is coming out of, and just do the first and only 5 double crochets that you have. And you're heading back towards the body of the blanket. And what does that mean? It means that you're going to connect it with a slip stitch. In this case now, we've already connected twice to the first space of this corner. So when we go to connect, you can see that you're higher now, and you were going to come up underneath the next one and slip stitch to the next available chain 5 space. Flip it over and chain 2 and double crochet 5 times. So it's only the corner you have to really kind of pay attention to, that you do it twice, and all the rest of them only get 1. Turn your work, and now you're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just do the first 5 double crochets that you see. And we're heading back towards the body of the blanket, and that means that there's going to be a connection. So after the final 5th one is in, go to your next empty one. Come up underneath it, slip stitch to join it. So now you can see now that's joined. Flip it to the wrong side, chain 2, and double crochet the first 5, and only 5 that you see. So you're just going to keep repeating that all the way along the side edges that you have. Okay, you're going to turn your work back to the right side, and then you're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then come into your and do your 5 double crochets in a row. But here's the thing, your next connection in this particular example, and yours is going to be much bigger, is actually going to be the first half of a corner. So when I go to slip stitch, you can see that I'm going to go to the next corner. So it just lines up perfectly. So you come up underneath it. And so this will be one of 2 connections that you need to do in this corner. So flip it, chain 2, and do your 5 double crochet. Okay, turn, chain 5 and head towards the blanket again. The body of the blanket, so do your first 5 and only 5 that you have. So you don't really need to count them if you're consistent, right? So we're heading back towards the body of the blanket, but we know that this is a corner space if it's your corner space. So we need to reconnect again into that same spot to have a second connection. So we've already connected once. This is the second time, and you're going to flip this, chain 2, and do your first 5 and only 5 that you have. So the extra you're putting into the corners is causing it to turn. Okay, flip and head towards the body of the blanket again. So chain 5 to start and do your 5 double crochet. So this is going to be the second half of the corner. So it's a space after the turn. So because we've already connected twice that you can see there, we're going to come in and connect to the other one and just naturally let the project rotate. So connect, flip, chain 2, and double crochet your 5. So that was one of 2 connections that you need on this side of the corner. Okay, flip back, chain 5, and do your first 5 double crochet. And because it's your corner, you want to check how many connections you've already done, and I've only done 1, so I'm going to have to connect again in that corner to get that turn to happen. So come into that same space where you already connected. Sorry. Connect it with a slip stitch, flip it, chain 2, and do your double crochet. Now I'm not going to go all the way around with you, I'm just getting yourself so you understand what this is. So come back to the right side and see how it's naturally turning on its own. So chain 5 and double crochet the next and only 5 that you have. Okay, so you've already connected now twice to this first one out of the corner. So now the rest of them are only going to connect once. So slip stitch, flip, chain 2, and do your 5. So you don't got to turn the whole blanket upside down. You just got to flip the border. So essentially you're almost doing a racetrack around. Flip back to the right side, chain 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your double crochet again. Okay, and so then look at your pattern as you're coming back towards the body of the blanket, and because it's not a corner anymore, you're just going to advance to the next empty one. Okay, and then flip to the wrong side. And double crochet back towards the outside. So that's all you're going to do for this whole thing. You're just going to be conscientious of your corners and to be able to follow this around and I will be at the end of the round to show you how to connect it to bring it all to conclusion at that time. I'm coming all the way around, and I've done my 2 connections on each of the ones that are in the corners, and then 1 into each around. And so as I'm coming around, I got to do the 2 connections in this one before I can get to here. So I'm going to do my first one now. Flip just the border. If I had to flip the blanket, the whole thing, I would probably have a manic attack. It's just nice that I can flip the border to do the wrong side easily. I like complicated, but I don't like stupidity. And that makes no sense, but that's okay. Okay, so then chain 5 again to return back to the base. So the colors would have transitioned a lot more if my sample was bigger and going right through the bitty stripes itself. And so this is my second connection. Okay, so that's the last time I'm going to connect to that, and then I'm going to chain 2 and then just double crochet the 5. So I don't want to head back into the body of the blanket, because the next time I would connect would be the first space, which has already been done. So this is where I need to end right now. So I'm going to just trim it long enough that I can use a whip stitch to be able to bring it to conclusion. So just pull it on through. So even though it's a different color on the one side, it doesn't really matter to me because it's bitty stripes. I'm just going to move the starting strand, and I'm just going to get a tapestry needle, and we're going to show you how that's done. So putting that through. Okay, and we're just going to match to the beginning. And there's only 5 to match into. So just come across the first one right here, just go right into the stitch and come into the top or here the chain work of the same stitch that matches. Coming through. So make sure you do use the colors that you've been playing with. So don't change this yarn to be something else, like white or something. Okay, and you're just matching the stitch to stitch across. So if it's solid color like I did with the Bernat blanket, you won't really even see this, that where you started, but because it's Bernat bitty stripes, you will see it a bit. So once you have that done, just push it down through and then turn it to the wrong side of your blanket. And then just carefully just tie it into a knot on this side. So just feed it through the loop, and that'll lock it from falling out on you. And what I need to do then is just to weave in the ends 3 times. So back and forth. So when you go through, don't go so deep that you can see this needle on the other side. And it's even better if you can separate the plies. So just don't go between strands, but like make effort to kind of split the plies, because it's virtually impossible to get out once you start doing that. And any loose ends that you'll have, you'll want to do the same thing, weaving back and forth on the wrong side of your blanket. And we have it marked because I did it. And so we'll be able to know what is the right side and wrong side. So this is the right side facing up. So the white, if I came back onto the white, I would just weave it in here on the back side here, and this would be good to go. So you can see it lays flat, very much like a placemat. And this is how you would do Bruges lace in around the edge blanket.